There we are. Well, good morning, good morning. What is up, YouTube? Someone heard my yawn? That was a very loud yawn. I did not even realize my mic was coming through on those starting screens. Hopefully you didn't catch me saying any bad words. Good morning, good morning. All right, so we're at a decent level right now. The profile's pretty shit, to be honest, but it is a pretty good level we're trading around. So we got your previous week's fair value right here, right where we are. So that's an interesting level to trade. Expecting a bit of chop around these points, so that we got sort of a D shape, sort of an even distribution type profile across this range. Not my favorite spot to trade around point of control, but once we come around 9:30, it should be nice to get those overnight value levels in and get some scalps off either side of this range. So that's a cool little play we can do off the open. Other than that, if we look at the overall, shift in value here, you have your overnight point of control from yesterday way up here. So we came off from those all-time highs and dropped right down. So that fair value did shift down, from yesterday, expecting that was to continue. We made those new all-time highs at 9 in the morning and then just melted down. So today, it's all about seeing how this previous week's fair value, PWPOC, holds up. Once we break away from this, which side of value we shift towards. So my approach today will be to trade the range of this area across here until it breaks out. Once it breaks out, follow that trend. So let's see what we get coming on the open at 9:30. Another 55 minutes to go. Can someone please help? Please help me with some information. Is here someone profitable with this strategy? Yes, there is many people here profitable with this strategy. It's not a unique strategy to me, Cosmin. It's the volume profile, trading using volume profile. It's age-old, professional order flow, professional trading tool, the volume profile. You can trade it in different ways. Some use it as a confluence alongside other things, other order flow tools. Some use it with typical moving averages, indicators. Some use it with ICT. If you're like me, you use it with absolutely nothing else. Well, I do use the DOM, but it doesn't really change my trading decisions. It's just a tool I like to use alongside the volume profile. OPOG moved, yes. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Does trailing drawdown stop after buffer on Take Profit Trader Pro? Yes, Simon, it sure does. So the 150K, if you make $4,500, your intraday trailing stops right there and then switches to end of day, and your drawdown will just stop at your starting account balance. So yeah, everything over $4,500, it just turns into a regular end of day drawdown account. So you build your own buffer from that point. Louis Silva, hello sir. Is it worthwhile to wait until 10 a.m. for newer traders for volume profile? Yeah, Gula, I mean, it depends on how many confluences you got on a trade. If you're going to use, the whole thing about waiting a half hour before you start trading is to use the developing profile only after the first 30 minutes. Other than that, if you have, say it's, 9:35 and you're trading at a level where there are 2 confluences existing, like, a couple of previous day levels stacked, like we are right now, for example, 2 confluences, you don't have to wait 30 minutes. The idea behind waiting 30 minutes is just before you use, so say, for example, this profile we're using now, this is a developing profile. The whole idea behind that 30 minutes thing is just waiting until 30 minutes passes before you use that as a confluence. So this profile here for the overnight session, for example, not looking at any high volume nodes, any value area high low until half an hour after that overnight open. So half an hour passes, boom, you get that first lot of volume in, then you can start to look at the developing value levels and volume as a confluence. Before that, not enough volume. Not enough volume is in there to really trade. FX Entropy, what's up, man? Long time no see. Yes, long time no see. Yeah, stream times have temporarily changed until I get back to my home country. I'm not there at the moment. In Australia right now, and then Tokyo next week. Tokyo, Japan, and both these time zones work best for the New York morning session for me. But yeah, as soon as I'm back home, we're back to New York PM sessions, 2:30 p.m. Pedal flow shred, nice. Yeah, it's fairly, I wouldn't say it's mainstream, right? It's not a typical retail concept or tool using the volume profile. Mainly because a lot of retail traders come from the Forex space, and in Forex, you can't really use the volume profile properly because there's no centralized exchange. And most of the online trading education you see, from YouTube and Instagram is some variation these days of SMC, which is, candlestick trading. So yeah, it will no doubt become more mainstream as more people have individual success with it and start to share, payouts, and inevitably people jump onto something like this. Just I haven't really seen too many influences on this, just purely because it's unique to futures. You can use it in Forex, but it's not going to give you the same amount of accuracy. You need a centralized exchange for sure. Micronesian, good morning, sir. Have I ever looked at larger time high volume nodes for any confluence to current VP? No, Chauncey, no, no. So the older the high volume node, the less relevant it is. So other than right off the open, so if once we close out this profile here, other than very recent high volume nodes, the older the high volume node is, the less relevant, because we want to see how volume and how value is the correct word, how value is developing now or more recently compared to how value was found in the past. We want to use recent value levels to reference where value is moving away from or reacting to now, but beyond that, the high volume nodes themselves, the little snapshots in time of where value has been discovered, you want to just focus on as recent levels as possible, because value is constantly shifting and changing, right? So you want to be right on board, right in line with seeing how and where current value is shifting. Does FOMC day have an effect on the strategy? Jennifer, yes and no. All the different news days have effects on all strategies. Like an FOMC day, for example, might have pre-FOMC is going to be not that great, right? The setups are still going to be there, but it's going to be a lot choppier, a lot slower. You just have to expect different conditions, but beyond that, all the principles stay the same. In FOMC day, for example, you might just have a lot more ranging type plays until the FOMC hits. Cookie-nator, in this case, we have two overlapping levels. How far would a high volume node have to be for you to consider it as a third confluence? In this case, Cookie-nator, what this would show me here is if we were to really break away from this area, break away from the previous days and previous weeks levels, got previous week point of control, previous day value area high, and then I assume you're talking about this node here. The volume here is shifted to the upside. For a third confluence, if we break away from this level here, preferably break the value area low, come back and retest, that would be a third confluence for me for a reinforced level, because you got that wall of volume stacked right behind these two levels. And then the same thing if we break away to the upside, properly break the value high and come back to test, then that you can see a very obvious shelf in volume right across there. So that would be a potential support level. But you need a nice meaningful breakaway for that to happen. It's quite large too, so you'd have to take that into account, as in if you're breaking away to the upside and you get an entry on the top of that high volume node, you're going to want your stop loss behind that high volume node, right? So maybe 6 points looks safer. And then vice versa. If you're looking to the downside, breakaway here, stop loss behind the high volume node. It's quite a wide one, right? Wide for me. 6 points is not wide to a lot of traders, but for me, I'm trading 3 to 5 point ranges, so that's a fairly wide stop loss. Shoots and Roots took a large L yesterday in session, took a large W in the after hours. Nice. Might only have to look at after hours sessions moving forward. Yeah, man, after hours sessions are nice, eh? But watch out for confirmation bias. It could just be, that particular day that session was not so good, but maybe today your market hours might be a bit better. But I love the overnight session. Overnight's great. Overnight's really good, but I will say I have been enjoying trading the main New York Open here the last few days. It has been nice. Nice and quick. I do like how quickly you can, get a yes or a no on a trade. Does Take Profit Trader have a 50% daily profit rule for evals? Yes. Lucap, hello sir. Are you using a ultra wide monitor? As on stream last night, we were talking about how our screens look way different, meaning you seem to have way more data on screen, but it's readable. Lucap, yes, at home I am using an ultra wide, but here while I'm traveling, this is just a MacBook Pro. So really, really small. I've just got TradingView zoomed out, 1 minute chart, zoomed way out so we can see a lot of VPs on the screen. But yes, if I'm at my home setup, 100% we've got an ultra wide monitor. Also check your OBS settings, Lucap. You want to make sure your resolution, your output resolution is nice and high as well. Get that a bit wider. Em, hello Em. Why don't I like trading around current point of control, or is it any point of control? If so, why? Good question. I will trade a point of control if there are a lot of confluences there, but because of the nature of point of control is the fair value zone, right? So it's the price that is fought over the most by buyers and sellers, most popular price. Because of the nature of that, there's going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of chop around most point of control levels. Meaning, you know, you could get an entry near point of control, and even if your bias is correct, you know which way the market's going to go, you're going to get a lot of back and forth, a lot of deep drawdown. Yes, maybe hit take profit, but it's going to be a lot noisier and less clean than trading an extreme. For the most part, your most profitable trades will be at the extremes of value. But yeah, if you got enough confluences at a point of control, so like previous day's point of control, for example, and then you have maybe let's say it's the previous day's point of control, but then you have a current session value area low develop across the previous day's point of control, would mean that what was fair value for yesterday is discount for today, meaning that's a good point to go long from. Fair value of yesterday, but discount for today, boom. So that's a case where I'd be more willing to get in on a point of control. Developing point of control, different story. Developing point of control, I'd almost never trade as an entry point. Unless it's stacked, or in a case like this where you've got a pretty even distribution and the value high is right there, right above current point of control, then that's a bit better than just trading a point of control on its own. Is this a good strat for entry on 15-minute charts or 1 hour? How do you determine stop placement? Wire, this strategy is time frame independent. So once the value levels are on the chart, the time frame is completely irrelevant. So we're just trading price and value, no time. Price and value, and yeah, no matter what time frame you're looking at, those value levels are the same. So it all just depends what you like to look at while you're trading it. But yeah, it's purely just trading price and value, current price and value. No candlestick pattern, no anything like that. So yeah, you could jump on a 1 hour chart if you wanted to, and yeah, this totally irrelevant what time frame you're looking at for trading. You could, yeah, as long as you got your value level here, you could execute off any of these. If you're asking more so, you know, scalping versus positional trading, or swing trading with this strategy, yeah, you'd take a slightly different approach. If you're swing trading, holding trades for multiple sessions, you'd want to more so look at trading those higher time frame levels. Higher time frame being your weekly value levels. So for me, I do also swing trade, positional trade with this approach, but purely based off weekly and previous days levels. Get a position, like in this case here, I wouldn't short the S&P personally in a swing trade account, but I'll be looking for, if we hold up across current, the previous week's point of control, hold up across here, entering around this point, stop loss at the low, and holding that to go through the new highs, something like that as an example. But yeah, if you're talking about just what time frame to trade off on the actual charts itself, as long as you got your value levels marked, doesn't matter, all same. All same. Chris and Miriam, good morning, sir. David, what's up, man? Finished the course. Amazing, beautiful, explained everything perfectly, easy to understand. All anyone needs to do is apply themselves. Recommend. Bye. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, David. I'm glad you found value in the course, man. Appreciate that. And good luck, my friend. Chris and Miriam, good morning, sir. Jeff, good morning from Denver. Hello. What overnight session hours do you prefer to trade? Any blocks of time you avoid? Good question, Jeff. I normally get in my trades around 7, 8 p.m. for the overnight session. 7, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Times that I avoid, just that first sort of half hour after that overnight open, after that Globex open, 6 p.m. Just avoid that personally. And yeah, once we're into the, first 30 minutes, I'll start to look for a trade. And I'm normally getting in 7 or 8 p.m. and then that's it. But yeah, no times I'd avoid with this trading approach. Just all comes down to personal preference. There's setups that happen at all those across, every single session, overnight, regular trading hours, 7 p.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m., all across, all the way through. There's always a setup occurring. So it just depends what time works with your time zone and your trading schedule. The main thing is just avoiding that first half an hour for the most part, unless you've got some really good stacked confluences off the get-go. Gabe, good morning, man. Good morning. UK Futures Trader, good morning, sir. David, good evening. Storm from Denmark, hello, sir. Kevin, nice. Nearly at the end of the course. Really like it. Glad to hear. Rising Ground from Las Vegas. Yes, sir. Is going on with gold. Oh, gold will be a good one to look at. It's a good question, Joel. Have I taken any trades before stream started? Not today. When scalping, do you use an arbitrary stop loss or place it in a logical place? So it still needs to be in a logical place, but my whole rule with entering trades is making sure that my stop loss and take profit is, for example, if we do something like this, okay, crude volume profile there, do something like this. Say if my entry to go long is at a high volume node that looks like that, with other confluences, of course, and I have a take profit target that's initially I'm like, oh, I want 6 points of this, but the problem is there's a massive high volume node sticking out there, massive point of potential resistance. Then my take profit target should be at or below that high volume node. Then my stop loss, same story. I don't want my stop loss within a high volume node. pretty high chance of getting stopped out if that's the case. So stop loss has to be behind that high volume node. So I could say, all right, from this trade, best I should target will be 3 points. Stop loss, I can get away with 2 points. So it's a decent setup. So it all depends on the scenario. But for the most part, if I've got plenty of room in between both, say there's no node here. So there's no node here, and the node goes way up to the top. Then in that case, all I'm worried about is my stop loss. Okay, can I get a good stop loss? Yes. And then I'll, most of the time, just target my arbitrary 3 to 5 points, depending on how volatile the market is. And then just trail up. Take my main position off at my arbitrary take profit target, and then just maybe leave a runner to see if I can go higher and higher to the next potential resistance point. Nice, David. Cool, man. Cool. Am I going to take the value area high short? No. No, not yet. The range is really playing out here, though. You're getting your shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. Pretty good range. Pretty decent range. How to manage sleep with trading hours? That is a good question, Gabe. I'm still working on that myself. Good question. You know, main thing is just choosing a trading session that works well with your time zone, and you know that purely comes down to where are you living, where in the world do you live? I mean, in New Zealand, Australia, it's not that great if you want to trade the New York sessions. So for the most part, if you live in the southern hemisphere here, the Asia overnight sessions, etc., are going to be better for your sleep. It's important though. Lion, yesterday's AM session gave a good short trade, but I wanted to show it to you to confirm if my reasoning behind it was valid. Can I share the chart link? Lion, I think I know exactly what you mean. And it's very funny in hindsight. It was actually a perfect short. Really perfect short. I assume you mean overnight value area high, and then that high volume node that was developed right at the highs, we broke below, came up, retested that on the underside. Little to no drawdown, reinforced overnight value high. You know, you could get away with a stop loss 2 to 3 points and capture that whole, if you're ballsy enough, capture that whole move all the way down. Yeah, I think I know what you are speaking about right now. Correct me if wrong. But yeah, I was so annoyed after the fact, like stepping back after the live session. I go, man, that was actually the perfect short setup. Using the volume profile strategy, the perfect short setup. I was so locked in on going long. Still managed to get, you know, a win. A couple of decent trades. But that short was where the lion's share was yesterday. It was a crazy short. Kai Capital, what's up, Brad? Whereabouts are you chilling in Oz? When I get back on my travels, I may end up in Perth. Nice. I'm in Melbourne at the moment. Just a little temporary stop. I've not been to Perth yet, Brad, but that sounds cool. J Express, good morning from Atlanta. Hello, sir. Good morning. What percentage of VA do you use in volume profile to set? I use 70%. Cayman, good morning. Good morning. Oh my goodness, Lang. Hello, Lang. Long time no see. Mr. Lang, Mr. Brad. I hope you're doing well, Mr. Langston. Man, long time. Where are you starting your volume profile for at the current session? Roundabout. So this one here, this is your overnight developing profile. The one that we'll start with on the open in half an hour will be 9:30. I saw it after OPOC failed to hold buys. PDVAH was broken at the downside as well. Entered on the PDVAH yes line. Nice, good trade. Yeah, it was actually really clear in hindsight, as the things normally are for me. But man, even in the moment, that was a really, really good setup. They say Melbourne can get all 4 seasons in one day. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Sebastian, hello, sir. Mama Z, good evening. Daddy Trader, hello, sir. Hello, hello. Well, thank you, Lang. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Lang. Man, some of you guys have been around from the very, very start. Very cool to see. As for where we are in price right now, not trading the range around point of control. There are some valid setups in here, but you guys know me. I don't like point of control as a place to trade. But all this is at the moment is just looking like a pure range. You got your pretty even distribution right across the middle, across the other previous week's point of control and previous day value high. So it's just the type of play where you fade the highs, buy the lows. Pretty easy type of play, but again, I hate trading around point of control of the developing session. So I'm waiting for that overnight levels to be put in, and then I will start to look to trade 9:30. So just scoping it out for now, so in case something interesting happens. But while it sticks around point of control, I'm just waiting. Overnight session starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Always 6 p.m. the Globex Open. Landchuck Trades, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Dubai on drone, come to Dubai. Yes, one day. One day for sure. Is there a specific reason why your priority level only the NY session and not the entire day? Yes, Cookie Nader. So you always want to reference the New York regular trading hours for the main value levels because that's the session with the most volume and institutional activity. So we want to see how big money is positioning itself and how big money is finding value. And big money meaning institutions plus majority of retail traders. So the most volume, we're trying to see how these participants are finding value. But then, of course, you have your overnight levels to capture everyone in between. Capture London and Asia, all of us smaller people, while the big Americans make all the main decisions at 9:30. Archie, good morning, good morning. Do they not have mugs in Australia? You making fun of my mug size? MetaHuman, what I mean for overnight levels to be put in is once 9:30 comes around, this overnight profile, developing profile, once that closes at 9:30 and the main session opens, then those will be put in as the closed overnight levels. So your 6 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. range. Once 9:30 comes around, I will shift these. See this overnight value low, overnight point of control, overnight value high. Those will then shift down to here, and those are the best levels to reference right on the open. Where's the DOM? It's not here at the moment, actually. I'm trading on the road, trading from a hotel, from a laptop. So we don't have much screen real estate. I've got it open on my screen. But in terms of screen real estate, we're a little bit lacking here. But yes, still trading off the DOM. Stanky ICT trading. Yes, Brad, please. I'm converting you very slowly, I hope. Good luck, man. Catch you later. That's not a mug, that's a shot glass. Come on, it's an Australia. It's a down under mug. Posted my 36th video yesterday. Plan on getting some streams going soon. When you ain't streaming, of course, man. Landsharks, good luck, man. Have I subscribed to you? Let's have a look. But yes, anyone doing the YouTube thing, there we are. I'm subscribed to you right now. Anyone doing the YouTube thing, the classic rule with YouTube is give it 100 videos. Do bare minimum 100 videos before you decide if you should continue doing it. 100 videos to get in the reps, improve your videos slightly every time. Then at 100 of videos, evaluate how well has it been doing. Have you started gaining subscribers, some new watches, your views going up. But those first 100 videos are your bare minimum amount of reps to put in. Pradeep, already 2 a.m. for you. Yes, over in New Zealand, man. Have a great early morning, evening sleep. What's your thoughts on having a smaller stop loss for scalps versus wider stop loss for intraday? Which one do you believe will come out more profitable? There's no right answer to that, Em. They're both just different approaches. For me, I have smaller scalps because that's my trading personality. I am quite impatient, so I want to get in and out of the market quickly for my day trading. For longer term stuff, that's more set and forget, buying and walking away. So that one's a different approach. But for day trading itself, I take a shorter approach, shorter time frame approach. So no right or wrong answer as to which one's more profitable. Just depends what works with your trading personality. For me, if I'm in a day trade for longer than 10, 15 minutes, that could ruin my day. Not happy with that. I want to be in and out. Lucap up 3479 this week. Great start. Let's see how my discipline has got and whether I can keep it on. Yes. Good start, man. 3479, good one. Please go over how we determine if it is a breakout or if it's going to fade. Yeah, Billy. So you want to see which side of POC price is holding. So if you get a point of control that shifts above, say, let's go. Actually, we can use what we have right now. So if we say in this scenario here, fade versus an actual breakout, well, you want to see on the profile in this example, it's a different scenario. We got an even distribution here, right? So it's just one high volume node that price is trading either side of. So in this case, it can be a bit harder to determine, but what you'd see for a breakout is price trade away from the midpoint, from the higher point in here, the POC. See price trade away from that, hold at value highs, and put in some volume. Build a new ledge of volume above fair value. And seeing that value develop above here, then you could be more confident in taking a breakaway trade from that value high. If you're seeing price trade up to the value high, up to the edge of the singular high volume node we have here today, if you see price trade up to the highs here like we have in this instance and put in very little volume and just drop back into the range, there's no reason to look for a breakout. So you really want to just see that value being found at higher levels or lower levels for a breakout. If it breaks to the downside, same thing. Break below the value area low, away from the range. Put in some value, a pocket of value here by building a high volume node. As soon as that pulls away, look for that retest and take that breakaway. So you're waiting for value to confirm the breakaway, basically. What laptop do you travel with, and do you travel with extra screens? Just one laptop and one screen. Pop, I'm trading with the MacBook Pro. All right, 20 minutes till the open. Been a really slow pre-market here today. Just a range, back and forth range. Through chaser, nice man. Yes, awesome. Awesome. Let me know how you find it. Yes, day 3. Let's go. It's been really cool. Really, really cool. Trading the open. Really, really cool, man. Would you recommend just focusing on one instrument or looking at 2 or 3 is okay, like GC, ES, and NQ? There's nothing wrong with looking at multiple instruments. Just don't let it confuse you or don't let it overwhelm you with too many choices. But yeah, if you got some levels all set up and marked out, like on gold, for example, if you got levels marked out and you got a couple windows open, seeing the price action on both, so there's no setup on the ES, but gold is approaching a setup, then just, yeah, man, nothing wrong with that. As long as it's not distracting you. Sometimes people can get too distracted with too many opportunities, too many levels to watch, and just get analysis paralysis. Man, gold, super high volume at the moment. Last couple sessions. Yeah, really nice. I've seen a couple people in the so a couple people that have taken the course have been trading gold, and I also trade gold occasionally myself. And yeah, it's a really good one to trade with volume profile. Really good, really really good. I do actually want to keep an eye on both in the streams once I get back to my home setup, so I can have it all open at the same time. But yeah, trading gold and ES with volume profile, really really good combination. Really good. There's yesterday, without looking at any other confluences here, yesterday, there's your previous day's value high for gold. A few setups long from there. You could literally catch that whole bull run there if you were, again, ballsy enough to hold the whole thing. 33 ticks of drawdown, though, so I normally scalp with about 10 ticks on gold, so a lot smaller than that. But yeah, all the same principles apply. Good, really good setups on gold. Really, really good. Anyway, let's keep watching this ES. Another 17 minutes to go for the open here. No worries, no worries, man. Next time. Appreciate that, though. Any reason you stop trading NQ and prefer ES? As a scalper myself, I'm struggling to decide between both. Law 305, both are good. NQ is good with volume profile as well. My thing with switching from NQ to ES was just for the year, at least at the start of the year, the Trump markets have been, as always, wild. And NQ was just moving at the time, moving so quick, so many massive wick outs, that I made the switch to ES just for a smoother, slower set of price action, and it's a bit easier to read the order flow on the S&P, just because it moves a lot slower and the book is thicker. So yeah, this S&P is it's just a personal preference. Some don't mind the high action, fast pace of the Nasdaq, but for me, I don't like a market that moves too quick. Are you actually executing trades in TradingView? No. Pop, I execute my trades in Tradeovate. For this stream, because we're on the laptop screens here, I am signed in to Tradeovate on TradingView, but I'm executing everything on the Tradeovate DOM because, yeah, executing on TradingView itself is shocking. Shocking. Madura, 6:10 a.m. in LA. Let's get a trade before work. Yes. Is the Apex video about Apex rules enough to make sure I don't get denied a payout? Also, is there anything else I should be careful about? Yeah, man, quite. That video is enough to know to avoid getting denied. Apex is fairly straightforward once you understand their rules. I think people get bitten a lot by the inconsistency of their position sizing. You just got to trade with consistent sizing, consistent take profit amounts. It's a base hit prop firm that stacks up over, with leverage stacks up over the multiple accounts. As long as you're trading consistent, same amount of leverage, same size trades, and you are, not risking too much in a day, because a lot of people get bit by that 30% rule. You'll be fine. Yeah, the reason a lot of people fail with Apex is because of inconsistent sizing. They'll go in, 3 contracts one day, risking a certain amount, but then the next day they're going with 8 contracts, and then they breach that rule, the 30% rule, or they will breach the consistency rule, or they'll breach the intraday trailing drawdown because they've gone in with too much size. Trade goes against them, goes up, but then goes against them, and then it's a lot more dangerous when you're trading with bigger size. So until you pass that buffer, especially use a consistent smaller position size, beat that buffer zone so you can beat the intraday trailing, and then you can start to scale things up a bit from there. But you still got to keep it really consistent across the board. Don't do 3 contracts today, 8 contracts tomorrow, 2 contracts the next day. Just keep it consistent and slowly scale up. Does live funded impact the market? Actually, yes. If you mean, do the orders actually go to market? Yes, they do. Nice, Chris. Yes, the join ask bid button is great. Great tool. Great tool. You save a tick or two here or there. Gives you a slightly better edge than just market executing. So glad that was helpful, Chris. Before becoming fully profitable, what was the turning point / evidence you will become successful at this, J Express? What was the turning point? I don't even have a aha moment or turning point. It just happens. It just happened over time, because I technically got profitable with ICT. Technically, it wasn't the best, but yeah, there was not a specific turning point. But all I can say in hindsight is that what really carries almost any strategy, even one with a much smaller edge like ICT. I don't even know if ICT trading has much of an edge at all, but managing your bankroll is such a powerful edge on its own that in hindsight, I think that is the key difference between unprofitable and profitable traders is great bankroll management, risk management, managing your downside, and being consistent with your upside. Because yeah, a good quote, I can't remember who said this, but any idiot can win, but it takes a skilled trader to learn how to lose properly. As in capping your downside, knowing when to stop, and knowing how to spread out your losses. But anyone can win. I mean, trading is basically a coin flip, 50-50. Anyone can win, but the real skill is in knowing how to lose properly. So yeah, there's no light switch or turning point. It's just, in hindsight, that seems to be what really brings most things over the line. And then, of course, once you pair that with a good strategy with a real edge, for me, that's volume profile. Yeah, it's a potent combo. Yeah, correct, through a tracer. That's exactly right. I'm not familiar with NinjaTrader's, the exact workings of NinjaTrader, but yeah, charting with TradingView, executing on Trade-of-8. But because TradingView allows you to sign in with a Trade-of-8 account as well, I'm signed in on both Trade-of-8 and TradingView. So when I execute on the Trade-of-8 platform here that I've got on my screen, off the stream screen, it'll show on the stream on the chart on the left here too. I know, KZ, and I'd say the same thing. A lot of people disagree, but I also think that Apex does actually, fun enough, encourage proper trading. It encourages you to be consistent in your position sizing and in your trading. So, yes, it's harder, but you learn to follow those rules. It will benefit you as a trader. Absolutely. Does Apex require you to scale up? I don't believe they require you to scale up. Oh, nice, quiet. Okay. First ever payout. Congratulations. Awesome. That is awesome. Actually, I wouldn't say ICT is a remake of order flow dynamics because you can't honestly read order flow using only candlesticks. I think if you pair ICT with volume or with order flow or with a footprint chart, etc., then you could start to see some edge in that, some real edge. I think ICT is more of a remake of classic price action candlestick concepts, but not actual order flow. Takes a skilled idiot to lose less than they accidentally won. Yes. Cool, 9 minutes to the open, 9 minutes. I'll start to move these overnight levels shortly because we've basically put these in place. Absolutely through Chaser, yeah. Prop firms are good free money if you're consistent, and you're still learning a strategy, or you want to risk some, get involved in the market but still have some skin in the game. Maybe make some money, maybe learn and earn. Prop firms are great for that. But yeah, absolutely, the ultimate end goal for everybody should be personal funds, because then you have no restrictions, no payout rules, and your earning potential is going to be pretty high in a personal account versus a prop account once you get to that point. But yeah, I still like to use props because, if you're a profitable trader, it's also free money at that point as well. Yes, correct, Lang. Let's go. More likes. Get it to 200 likes, and we get giveaways going every day. Giveaways go at 200 likes every single day. So later on in the session, we'll get we have no take profit trader accounts left to give away. You guys cleaned me out of all of those. So we have Apex, and we'll give away a course today. We won't do that too often, but today we'll give away a course in Apex. So 200 likes, and we'll start to get that going later towards the end of the stream. All right, I'm going to start to move these overnight value levels now. They're not set in just yet, but they won't move from this point too much. So let's get these going down here. 7 minutes to the open. 7 minutes to go. Can't I do a Tradeify account giveaway? Lion, I do have a code with Tradeify, but I don't have the affiliate relationship with them for free accounts to give away, unfortunately. I don't really promote them too much, purely because I don't use them that much. They're a good firm, but yeah. Prop accounts also protect traders from crazy candles that could wipe out real money. Yes, with massive slippage. Exactly. That's the other thing. Yeah, in a personal account, if your stop loss gets slipped or that you don't get filled on your stop, very rare for that to ever happen. But if you're not being attentive and your stop loss gets totally missed, you could theoretically lose your entire account. And that has happened to people before. It's rare. Mainly it's people who've set a position, walked away, gone on to do something else. Some news event hits the market. The stop limit gets missed, doesn't get filled. Yes, technically you could lose your whole account. So props are a good way to protect your downside in that sense, but I always make sure if I'm trading real money to be at my screen the entire time and attentive while I'm trading, and to close out all positions before the end of my trading day. Because, yeah, there are some horror stories of that happening. Webcam view's gone. Okay. 1 second. One second. There we are. Cool, 5 minutes to go. As for trade ideas here, just going to be watching off the open how we react to these overnight value levels. If we can break away, get a nice meaningful breakaway. We're starting to put in a bit of volume above these highs here, so that could be a potential support level off the open. Let's see that and go from there. Do I trade crypto as well? I'm dabbling. Before you just shifted the overnight levels, would you have traded from them, or had they already lost their relevance? No, Jeff, it's still totally relevant. I'm just choosing to sit out around the point of control, around these type of back and forth ranges, but still relevant. Just shifting them down here because they're about to be at our new overnight value levels. If you meant the ones that were up here earlier, if you meant before I shifted these ones themselves, yeah, these are absolutely relevant. They're still relevant going into the next session as well, but I like to keep things as recent as possible. Four minutes to go. So what we're seeing here is a bit of value being pushed up above the highs of this range here. So good sign. Good sign. You got a high volume node that's put itself in right across that overnight value high, which will likely stay around this point on the open. So that's a decent little B setup there. FOMC minutes today, correct. They are voting soon to keep government shut down or not. All right, interesting. Yeah, the news is definitely a lot more relevant in these New York morning sessions. That's for sure. Let me get my news feed updated here too. Two minutes to the open. Get my economic calendar up here. Cool. What have we got? Here we are, 9:20. Bunch of Fed speeches. Cool. 10:30. Crude oil stock exchange. ECB president. Okay. Yeah, we got a few Fed speakers right now. Medium impact. Thanks, UK Futures Trader. Good luck to you, sir. Cool. All right. About to open up here. 2 seconds. Let me get these overnight levels all put in. And we are open. Let me just change that to 9:30. Markets open, overnight value levels are in. Let's see, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Yeah, we got FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. today. Just the minutes. It's not proper FOMC. FOMC minutes. So not as high impact as an FOMC day. I'm watching the value low, overnight value low here, stacked with two other levels, 1, 2, 3 levels. Previous day value high, previous week's POC, overnight value area low. See where this thing goes off the open here. So if I jumped off that overnight point of control, nice, open getting the profile for this session on here as well. So starting at 9:30, obviously it's tiny and you want to use that to develop over the next 30 minutes plus. But get that on there as well. Let's see where we open right here. Pretty good so far, holding up at overnight point of control. I'm going to look to see for price to either break away from the value high or to trade from the lows down here, overnight value lows stacked with those other two levels, previous week's POC, previous day VAH. What am I waiting for? To enter Sebastian, waiting for more confluences here. Not trading a single confluence just after OPOC, but going to wait for the stacked levels below or for a breakaway to happen above. See how this thing trades. A lot of volume coming through around in here on the open. Around this fair value. Looking down at 767 for a first trade. All right, it's coming down a bit here. Coming up on these 760s. Watching as we come down to these levels here. Take a first trade attempt on this take profit trader account. Got 3 value levels stacked here, right at this low. There we are, I'm filled in there, 76750. And I've got a 5-point stop, learned from yesterday. Give it a wider space to breathe in the New York session. And let's see if we get some support across this point here. First trade, let's go. Looking at, we got the previous overnight point of control at 771. That's the level we're going to watch. Haven't set a hard take profit just yet, but watching that level. We'll just be watching to pull the position as it gets up towards, if we get up towards the overnight point of control, 770.75, be watching to pull if we see any sort of resistance up at that point. Starting with a 1-to-1. And of course, if it goes up and we get past the overnight point of control, I will try and hold a runner. So it's the whole idea with these New York morning sessions, try and find the level where we can get the best positional play. Yesterday it was shorting off the value high. It was the best positional play to, number one, get a decent scalp and then potentially leave a runner, capture the bigger range as well. It's the whole idea I'm trying to work with in these morning sessions. So let's see. Good level and price right now. Really good level. Again, just gotta watch to see price break 771 for the upside. So confluences on this trade. If you missed our previous day's value high, previous week's point of control, overnight value low, all in the same spot. So good concentrated area for market interest here. And we're seeing a lot of volume across these 3 levels. I'm going to take 3 off at the overnight point of control and leave 3 to keep going. Oops, let me just change that from brackets. 771. Okay, 3 off at 771, which is overnight point of control. See if they can hit. 1 tick away from fill on that. You don't want to be holding, most of the time, you want to be getting at least a good portion of your trade off at a point of control level, because you're going to find resistance. You're going to find some sort of resistance, some sort of reaction at a point of control level. So you want to be out a decent portion of your scalping at point of control. So yeah, if I can get filled up at that point of control, that'll be half my position off, and then stop will come to break even, and I'll see if more can come from this move. The one tick tickle, the one tick tickle. Yep. The support level is still holding up for the most part. Let's just not get two one tick tickles in a row. Yeah, a bunch of Fed speakers today is what we got. 10-year note auction 1 p.m. Fed Logan at 1:15, medium impact. FOMC minutes 2 p.m. So not as high impact as FOMC itself. FOMC minutes, different event. A lot of people get those two confused. FOMC and FOMC minutes, two totally different events. But FOMC minutes still a high impact event, not as much as your actual FOMC. Yeah, right off the open, a nice B set up right off the open. Your overnight value high, nice melt right off that. Really, really nice. That's what I mean. If you're trading the New York Open, the overnight value levels are very, very, very good levels to trade from. Breaking down a bit here, back down towards the low end of the range from the overnight. Cami Capital really got one tick tickled again. Still a little while to go on the developing profile. You can see it's slowly building itself here. 15 minutes on that developing profile. Right back to the entry here, back to the value levels. Again, just to reiterate, half the positions coming off if we come up to the overnight point of control, taking off half, and stop will move to break even. Let's not get the one tick tease. All right, coming up close again. There we are, half the positions filled. Another 3 still left, moving that stop to break even. And seeing if I can just squeeze the rest of this trade. I will trail this up as it goes. But yeah, trying to squeeze some more out of this trade. Just target whatever, keep trailing up. Change this to make sure it's 3 contracts. Yep. Cool. It's going. It's going. This thing has not changed from 6 to 3. It's bloody hell. Thanks a lot, Trader Mate. It's running up here. Nice trade. I'll move that stop up. I don't know why it still says 6. I changed that to 3. Anyways, I'll get ready to exit all if it comes back to that. But moving that stop up to OPOC. Again, just trailing this to see if I can squeeze a bigger move out of this play. Up at overnight value high now. See if we can break through. I know, I don't know why that stop loss has not changed from 6 to 3. I've changed it in TradeAvate, Trading View. Nothing. I'll just get ready to exit it all if it comes back to hit that. Okay, as it's up at the overnight value highs, pulling this trailing up some more. It's a good area for it to come back into value. So not expecting a breakout, but if we get a breakout, then we make more money. Let's go. Man, like the stream for this trade. That was a beautiful trade. Like the stream. Likes up. 200 likes. We get giveaways going after the trade. But let's see how much money we can make here. We, meaning me, do not copy trade, not financial advice. Webcam's off again. Let's get that back on. I don't know why it still says 6 sell stop. Trying to change that. It's not changing. Confirm. Yeah, I'll just get ready to exit all if it comes back to that sell stop. Okay, exit it all. Great trade. Great trade. Great trade. That's awesome. Let's put on execution so you can see where those all happened. Fantastic trade. Really happy with that. That was on a Take Profit Trader funded account. And man, good one. Winners in the chat. And yes, good exit there. See what I mean? Once you get Don't let greed get a hold of you. It's already greed, not greedy, but that's why I took off half the position at overnight point of control, because that's a potential resistance level, right? So half the position off there. Overnight value high, even more reason to jump out, because that is then a premium price point. Price is more likely to range than breakout. Price is ranging, I think it's something like 75% of the time versus breaking out. So you want to get out at those logical levels. Hence the manual exit there once we got above value highs and started to trade back in. So, yeah, good exit. So the confluence on that trade, you got previous day's value high, previous week's point of control, overnight value low. It's 3 value levels stacked of the previous sessions. I got my entry on the overnight value low just because it was the lower one. Gave it a 5-point stop, being New York. These levels aren't an exact science, right? It's not just going to stop because of some magical line drawn on the chart. It's just an area where you got overlapping interest, market interest. So you want to know, you want to, use these zones, these price levels as areas of potential marketplace, right? So it obviously going to do a little bit of drawdown, but buyers bought that back up. It's a logical level for support, and just trading that from low of the range to high of the range. Boom, in and out and done. Really, really nice. 146 likes. You got to get it to 200. 200 likes and we'll get a giveaway going. It's giveaway time. Going to give away 1 Apex account, and today we'll give away 1 lifetime course access as well. Yes, Beza. This one will go in the playbook. This is 3 confluences. This one will be added to the playbook in the school group. For those of you guys who have taken the course and are part of the school group, we'll do a more detailed breakdown in the playbook. Really, really nice trade. Really nice. Really, really nice. Yes, come on, get the likes to 200 so I can do the giveaway. No 200, no giveaways. Come on, come on, come on. You're close. 20 likes to go. 20 likes to go, and we'll get that giveaway going before we continue. So giveaways again are, you guys have taken me all out of Take Profit Trader accounts. So I've got no more of those to give away this week, but we'll give away Apex and the course, 1 course giveaway. No, if you've only got course access, I sent out an email a little while back with an invite to the school group. It is a paid invite, but it's only available to members of the course. Otherwise, it's at the end module. If you go right to the end module of the course, in there you'll see access, an invite to the school group. Give it to me, give it to me. Here, come on, 200 likes. There we go. All right, let's get this thing going. 1 course and 1 Apex for the giveaway today. And we should have more Take Profit Trader accounts to give away next week. So let me just get this thing ready for giveaways. One second. Cool. All right. Oops, hold on a second. Just getting this giveaway sorted, and let's run it. 1 second. All right. For the giveaway, you guys know the normal drill. Okay. What you need to do for this giveaway, same as always. I'm going to post a link in the chat here. And what you need to do is vote, like the post, vote on the post, and then comment either course or prop. Course or prop. Link is in the chat right now. Link in the chat. Click that thing. Vote, like, and comment on that post. Vote, like, and comment. I will choose 2 random winners. One for a free Apex account and one for a free access to the course, the volume profile trading course. So click that. I'll give you guys 2 minutes and let's quickly run down the trade again here. For those of you guys who have not been paying attention, 2-minute timer has started. Cool. Go for that. Okay, so let's break down this trade. I'll give you 2 minutes for the giveaway. Again, click that link, comment, like, vote. Okay, let's recap this trade. Again, this will be done in more detail for you guys in the school group. It'll be a playbook trade, really nice setup. But basically, a previous day's value high, point of control, overnight value low off the open as potential areas of support. So that's 3 stacked value levels. And we had price trade down off the overnight value high right on the open. Avoiding POC, again, not the most optimal point to enter at. So avoiding that and trading the opposite end of the extreme here. Getting long at the overnight value low purely because it's the deepest price level. So expecting price to dig into that a bit because it's not an exact science. Market's not going to stop at a line drawn on the chart just because. You're going to expect some back and forth. So entering at that deepest level and long position from there, 6 contracts, taking off 3 at overnight point of control, first logical level of expected resistance or reaction. It broke through and then taking off the rest of the trade right underneath the overnight value high because that's another level of expected pullback. It pulled right back to overnight point of control here before then coming back above. So yes, this could break out and go above, but overall that was fantastic trade entry, fantastic exit on both portions of that position. So yeah, really, really nice trade. Again, I'll break down more surrounding confluences in the school group for those of you guys who have taken the course. But that is the gist of the trade. 3 stacked value levels and exit at logical opposing points. So really, really nice trade there. Take profit trader funded account, bagging just over $1,200 total for a few minutes work. Now the timer has stopped. Let's get the giveaway going. All right. Okay. I'm going to select 2 people to win this. All right. Scrolling. Get a couple of random ones. We will have a better giveaway system next week, by the way. The duck race. Thank you for that suggestion. So, first winner, Evan Foley. Evan Foley 4827. You have won the course, my friend. Congratulations. And now let's get the Apex account giveaway. Let me scroll through the prop answers. There they are. Prop. Okay. Paige Rexroad. Paige Rexroad, congratulations on... Ah, man, I selected the wrong one. You know what, Paige Rexroad? I've already said your name, so you 2 course winners today, and the Apex account winners. Mini Trader 14525. I'm not going to say someone's name then withdraw. Paige Rexroad, Mini Trader 14525, and Evan Foley 4827. Congratulations to the winners here. For the winners, please message me on Instagram. and then I'll accept your message request, send me proof of your account, send me proof of me liking your comments and your YouTube page, so a screenshot of your YouTube page, and then we'll sort that giveaway for you. So congrats to the winners. We'll call it there tonight, guys. That's really good. In and out. Like I said, that's my trading approach. Take my trade, make the money, walk away. Low stress approach to trading. Really nice trade. This thing, it looks like it's ready to rocket ship. So good luck to the rest of the traders trading today. If you want to trade using Take Profit Trader, you can get 40% off using code CAMCAP. Link is pinned in the chat. 40% off and no lifetime activation fees. That gets waived using code CAMCAP. That link is pinned in the chat. TPT, my #1 recommended prop firm. And then Apex, 80% off, code CAMCAP. Great prop firm to use if you're looking to scale up. If you want to get the trading course, learn how to trade using volume profile. You like the way I trade today. You like the setups. You like what we're talking through. I do have a valuable trading course, camicapital.com. Link is in the chat right now. It's a one-time fee, lifetime access, and it is reasonable in price. I'm going to say cheap in price, but not cheap in value. And that'll be changing soon to a monthly subscription model. So for now, now's a good time to grab it if you want to just pay a one-off lifetime access fee. That'll soon be changing to a monthly access fee for new members. Existing members, keep what you've got. So that is in the chat. Otherwise, I'll see you guys same time tomorrow. Last day of trading for me tomorrow. I trade Monday to Thursday live on YouTube. So 8:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We'll be going live again. Like the stream if you enjoyed the stream, if you found it helpful. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Take care. Good luck. Good trading. Goodbye.